Good morning, viewer. Welcome to our FTV English viewers and here's a breaking news. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said he hopes the US will stand strong in the face of Russian demands to lift sanctions as a condition for a ceasefire in the Black Sea. Moscow said a maritime truce announced on Tuesday to allow safe passage for commercial vessels would only begin once Western restrictions on Russia's food and fertilizer trade had been lifted. Zelensky has speaking during a panel interview in Paris with journalists from across Europe. Asked by the BBC if the US would resist Russian pressure, he said, "I hope so. God bless. They will, but we will see." The White House wrote on Tuesday that Russian and Ukrainian delegations had agreed to a ceasefire in Black Sea after 3 days of separate talks with American officials in Saudi Arabia. But hours later, the Kremlin released its own statement including a list of conditions. Its demands including revoking Western sanctions on financial institutions involved in the agriculture and restoring their access to the SWIFT international payment system, a network that facilitates secure financial messaging. Trump said the US government was looking at Moscow's request for the restrictions to be lifted, but the European Union said on Wednesday it would be not consider removing sanctions before the unconditional withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukraine's internationally recognized territory. Speaking to the panel in Paris, Zelensky said he was very grateful for bipartisan support from the US, but said he feared some were under the influence of Russian narratives. "We cannot agree to those narratives," he said. When asked whether US President Donald Trump had a closer relationship with him or Russian President Vladimir Putin, Zelensky said he did not know. "I don't know, it is difficult for me to say," he said. "I don't know what relationships he's got. I don't know how many conversations he is in his hand." The Ukrainian leader was also asked about comments from Trump envoy Steve Witkoff, who dismissed Europe's efforts to create a coalition of the willing to support Ukraine in an interview last week. In response, Zelensky said he would not be hastily driving to conclusions. He said Witkoff, who has a background in property development, did not have that experience. "As far as I know, he knows very well how to buy and sell real estate, but that's somewhat different," he said. He also said that Europe had strengthened itself significantly during the course of the war. Beyond this exclusive report, FTV English, Delhi, Bharat.